Good day, Minecraftians. Purple Mentat here, bringing you more Running Red. Alright, we've got a lot to cover, so let's get right into it. Last time I got the Blood Dynamo, Leadstone Energy Cell, and Sawmill set up. Let me show you what I did wrong with those. I had everything set up appropriately if I had the energy cell placed like this, with the front facing off to my right as I'm standing right now. That's not how I had it set down. I had it set down like this, with the front facing off to my left as I'm standing here. So that's where I screwed up. I thought that I was configuring the left and right side as if the energy cell was facing here, when in fact I needed to be configuring the front and the back. In any case, it's now working just fine. The Blood Dynamo does need a redstone signal to run, so you put your portable tank in there. Well, actually, it's up over there. You pump your blood into there through some, life essence. You pump your life essence into there through some method or another, you give it a redstone signal, and it generates actually quite a lot of energy. This entire charge for this sawmill, for these, let me think, 9 logs that were processed, and the other 392,800 RF that is in the energy cell, all came out of around a bucket, maybe a little less of blood. Basically, the amount of time it takes to go to right-click something twice real quick, like that. Anyway, that means it runs pretty well. Gets you a lot of power quickly. Now, what I would like to focus on this episode is getting this altar upgraded. I'm kind of tired of it being this. And that was also going to mean probably at least partially tearing down and rebuilding, or removing entirely the monster spawner. Yeah. I've got a lot of work ahead of me. So I'm still pumping blood out of the altar to keep a portable tank filled. I did upgrade to a reinforced portable tank, which you can do in the tier 2 of the altar for, hang on, hardened portable tank, 10,000 LP. It takes a long time, and only use 1 LP per tick, so you're not going to run out anytime soon, because that's 500 seconds. It's almost a 10-minute process. However, your altar will hold up to 10,000 LP, so get it filled up, toss your tank in, and then just walk away, do something else for a while. Alright, next step, speaking of walk away, do something else for a while, is to make a better blood orb. As you can see, you need to get that emerald using 8 buckets around a diamond. Also, I want to get myself some better runes, because I want things to process faster. And to do so, we're going to make some speed runes. Speed runes, we can upgrade the blood runes we have with a couple of blank slates, some stone, and some sugar, and there we go. Now, because of I'm not sure if it's a properly called a bug or just a design choice or how it goes, but only the 4 runes in the cardinal directions are actually having any effect right now. Hang on, let me get a little away from that because it's very loud over there. Only the 4 runes at the north, south, west, and east of the blood altar are having a direct effect when you're on the tier 2. Once you upgrade and replace these planks with 20 more runes, then they'll all function. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this emerald into the higher tier of blood orb. That's going to require, I believe, 5,000 LP, yes, in the tier 2 altar, and it's going to drain 5 LP per tick. So let's make sure that we have at least 5,000 in there. We're currently at 2,000, and we're losing... oh, hang on. Give me that back. Accidentally dropped my snowballs in there. We're currently losing about 20 per tick or so. So let's get more in there. If you remember, every kill takes us another 200 or 400 higher, I believe. Yeah. So, gonna keep working on this. That might have been 500. Hang on. 6260. 6760. Anyway, that's plenty enough now to get this emerald upgraded and get a little away from that. And you can see how quickly that it is draining. Alter progress. I still don't quite understand that particular tooltip. In any case, that'll take a moment. While that's processing, let me show you what the next step along the way is. I want my kills to be worth a little bit more, and that's going to require the Rune of Sacrifice, which I can currently make using the Apprentice Blood Orb that I'm creating now. Each one of these is going to take 2 gold ingots and 2 reinforced slates. Each one of the reinforced slates requires me to take one of the blank slates I've already made, put it back into a tier 2 altar with another 2,000 LP. Because I need 20 runes to upgrade the altar to the next tier, I am going to need to make myself 40 of these reinforced slates, which is going to require 80,000 LP and quite a bit of time. Luckily, I already have the blank slates ready for me. I'm going to start working on that. I'll be here grinding at this for a little bit. I'll be back once these are done. See you soon, folks. Alrighty, folks, we are doing pretty good up there. Before we go back, though, I wanted to make myself a couple of sound mufflers. Needed 8 planks with some redstone to make the note blocks, and then 8 wool apiece gets you your sound muffler. And we can use that to make things a little quieter. Also, what I'm going to need to actually get the altar counted as tier 3 are a couple of glowstone blocks. Luckily, Gideon has provided us with a way of creating glowstone that's available right from the beginning. Redstone plus gold gets you glowstone dust, and then you can combine that into your blocks. This will allow us to upgrade the altar almost, well, basically right now. There we go. Things are nice and quiet now. You can barely even hear me killing the monsters, which is pretty nice. Now, currently, I have my apprenticed blood orb in the altar. Oops, some things must have fallen into the hopper. Fun. And that's charging up my network. If I take a look, my network is currently over 15,000 LP. I believe that the apprentice blood orb allows you to charge up to 50,000 LP into the network, but I haven't actually double-checked that this time around, so I may be misremembering. Alright, so let's get this upgraded. You'll see that the altar is still saying tier 2 despite having these 20 runes of sacrifice around it. Well, that's because I haven't actually put the glowstone into place yet. You need a 2-high pillar with glowstone on the top, in addition to the runes, and then it will upgrade the altar properly. And when I break this last one, it'll probably get sucked up by the vacuum hopper. This vacuum hopper is not a permanent resident over here. I have some other plans for the monster tower that I'm going to need to move later. But now, if I go and I check my altar, we can see that it is, in fact, tier 3. And if I kill... well, actually, hang on. You're full, so... I kill 1 zombie. I check my divination sigil. I'm now oh, actually, it's still pumping out. Look at that. Hang on. Let me turn this off. So I have 1,300 in there exactly. I kill 1 skeleton, and I have 2,700. Which still is doing weird things. Anyway. 1 mob is now worth about 1,400 LP, which is pretty nice, I feel. Which will allow us to go 1 step further with our orb. Should be full now, right? Yes, good. So the next orb is, I believe, the Magician's Blood Orb. In any case, I know for a fact that it is made with a different material than we've had to use so far. We're done with gems. Now, it's time to use a full block of gold. And this block of gold is going to get us, what is going to cost us, I believe, 25,000 LP. Yes, and that will indeed make the Magician's Blood Orb. Now that 25,000 LP is more than this altar can currently store. It can only store 10,000. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to, I mean, you see how fast it's draining. I'm going to be slaying mobs as quickly as I can to keep it as full as possible. Those speed runes really crank up the rate that it goes, as it's now counting all 8 of them instead of only 4 like it was before. And this won't take very long at all with it draining at this speed, which is actually kind of fun. I like the fact that we can get things done very quickly now in our blood altar. Alright, so there we go. Poof. Did not take long at all. 1 Magician's Blood Orb, find that to me, and toss it back in there to start filling the network. You can see how quickly the network is filling now. That is really amazing. Now, why did we want the tier 3 altar specifically? Well, I'm tired of killing things by hand. As much fun as it is, I should by now be able to automate this process. And the first bit along that route is going to be to make myself the Ritual Diviner, which is not actually called the Ritual Diviner, unfortunately, in-game. If you search for Ritual, though, you will find this is the item that I'm looking for. And I have plenty of diamonds, because I have been handing in from Our Lady of Sorrows. Whoops. Here we go. The Souls of the Damned quest every time it resets, which is about every hour in-game. And it's not like I'm not killing a ton of skeletons and zombies all the time, you know? So that's been working out pretty good and feeding me lots of diamonds. Let's get back home. I haven't gotten anything particularly useful out of the reward bag so far. I did find another lava gem, which I stuffed in a chest somewhere. So, as you can see, I'm up to 8 diamonds. Doing pretty good on that. And my copper oreberry farm is getting pretty saturated. Come down. Whoops. It's actually completely full underneath, and if I come over here, they're actually grown on top now. Wow. In fact, I'm almost out of room for copper ore berries entirely. That's fun. It's going to be a good time setting this thing up to automate if it turns out I need lots and lots of metals at some point. Get those in there. So, reward bag contains another notch apple. Cool. And I am up to 25 of those. Gratuitous overkill. Oh, also, since the last time, I made myself a golden bag of holding from extra utilities. Pretty simple recipe at this point in time. So now I have a little bit more inventory space to work with, so let's toss a couple of tools in there that are not, like, common usage at the moment. Okay. Now, to get the Ritual of the Ritual Diviner, we need one each of these elemental inscription tools. Fire requires a magma cream. Air requires a ghast tear. Water requires a block of lapis. And earth requires obsidian. The obsidian's easy to get. We already know how to get our hands on lots of that. Lapis, on the other hand, is a little bit more challenging. We can use rain plant seeds to get lapis. It's probably going to be one of our best bets. Yeah, I think so. So I'm going to do some more seed gathering. Hope I can get my hands on some rain plant seeds, and then set up a little farm for those to get the lapis moving. For the air, the ghast tear, well, there's no recipe for that. I'm going to have to find one, or, well, I'm pretty much going to need to go to the nether, kill some dudes, and get myself a ghast tear. But I've got some plans to make that happen, which I'll share with you in a moment. As far as the magma cream, that's a simple case of a slime ball and some blaze powder. You've seen the slime ball. Do I have any blaze powder right now? I don't have any blaze anything. I could go to the nether and fight some blazes. I'm going to have to be in the nether anyway. But alternatively, I believe... I could set up a fluid transposer, destabilize redstone, make glowstone, produce blaze powder that way. That seems like a lot of extra effort that's not really super worth it. So yeah, it looks like killing in the nether is probably my best bet right now. I need to get some stuff going to do that. Which I knew was going to happen, and I have a plan to manage that. Let me get set up, and I'll be back to show you how I'm going to get into the nether and deal with the monsters there without so much of a threat of death. Alright folks, got myself my rain plant seeds put together. Actually, even easier than I thought it was, because you can create rain plant seeds, from regular seeds and water. Just needed to go one level deeper. And it is a shaped crafting. If you put the water bucket there, then you will end up with squid seeds instead. So now I have a very easy and relatively infinite source of lapis. Almost makes you wonder if that's going to play a part in the long-term plan here. Let me get some essence back into the altar. Just toss in the obsidian first. If I take a look at the... well, actually, it's already done. It goes very quickly. Elemental inscription tool, earth created. It's only 1000 LP. It says it drains 5 per tick, but given the upgrades that we have on this altar, it's actually going a good bit faster than that. And this will get us the elemental inscription tool, water. Fantastic. We are well on our way. So, you know what I just realized? I may be wasting my time here. Let me double check. The Master Ritual Stone requires a Magician's Blood Orb. Okay, good. We're in good shape. I was worried that I would not actually be able to make this the ritual that I am after without... with what I have available. In any case, now that I'm certain that I can... actually, I can't. Oh, my faulty memory. I apologize. I need the Elemental Inscription tool Dusk to upgrade the regular Ritual Diviner into the better Ritual Diviner, which can place Dusk Runes. So, and to create this, I need a block of coal in a Tier 4 altar. So I actually need to focus on getting my altar to Tier 4. That's fine. I'm going to need to finish up what I'm doing to get my Elemental Inscription tools for that anyway. It'll just be a little bit before I actually get all of the things together that I originally wanted to. No problem. So next on the list, because I plan on going to the Nether, I want a little bit of protection from said Nether. So what we're going to do, we're going to use Blood Magic's Alchemic Chemistry set to make ourselves a really nice potion. Start of that, toss a glass bottle into your blood altar, and it'll drain off some LP and turn itself into a potion flask. Specifically, I believe it uses 1,000. 2,000. It uses 2,000. There we go. Now, into the potion flask, we're going to need a binding agent. And because I want to put 2 effects on there, I'm going to make myself a standard binding agent. To make the standard binding agent, I need to start with a weak binding agent, and then I need both Crystallos and Sanctus. Well, I know, actually, that I have way too much stuff in my inventory for one. Let's just get rid of most of it. That'll be for the best, I think. We'll grab back the blood orbs for the time being. We'll grab back the sigil, and we're okay. By the way, what I'm building with over here is white stone, which can be created with sugar and smooth stone. It has a nice, interesting contrast to everything else, I believe, in my opinion. So hang on, I need a bucket. I'm going to need the snowballs that I've been farming from my snowbells. Very useful. And I'm going to need a few buckets of water. You know what? In fact, I can actually speed this up even further if I make myself a glacial precipitator, which is a fairly simple creation and will use the snowballs that I currently have. So let me get this together and I'll be back when it's ready. There we go, 1 glacial precipitator. Now all it needs is a source of power and a source of water. Let's grab my power, take this up with me to where the... I'm going to need to build myself a better area for this automation type stuff. I will do so another time. I won't be doing so before this episode is out. But definitely before I release the world download with episode 10 or 11. Okay, so I am actually going to want that igneous extruder to move. And to make that as easy as possible, I should really make myself a dolly. Hang on, I'll be right back. Alright, this is a little bit better. Built myself a tiny platform over here for the time being because I absolutely could not stand not having enough room to work with any longer. And it's really basic. But it's getting the job done. It's giving me a place to put down my igneous extruder, and more importantly, my glacial precipitator. Now all I need to do is make sure that this is set to output to the left, and this will start filling up with power, and now I can start producing the ice and the snow that I'm going to need for my next plan. And we'll turn those 4 snowballs into a block of snow. Pretty fantastic, isn't it? There we go. So why did I need 2 ice and 2 snow? Well, those are the building blocks of Crystallos. 2 ice, 2 snow, and 1 simple catalyst. Are you? Oh, you are no longer receiving from the back. But now you are. Fantastic. And I could easily set this thing up to generate lots and lots of both simply by tossing a chest on the top and occasionally swapping between the two. But that's not what we're going to do at the moment. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to get that simple catalyst together. And the simple catalyst, we've got the sugar, we've got the redstone, kind of, it's a little painful. We've got gunpowder, glowstone, also a little painful, but that's okay. So let's take care of... Let me go gather everything. I don't have the sugar at the moment. And I want to show you a different method for creating redstone, because I'm tired of doing it by hand. So I'm going to do something a little bit better. Specifically, I've got my cyclic assembler set up over here, and it's full of power. All I need for it is a schematic, and the schematic is created with sugarcane. Need to turn that into paper, and then I need to apply a little bit of lapis. I believe I have one more lapis on hand. I do. So 2 paper, 1 lapis gets you a blank schematic. Now, if I grab my sand, which I actually already had on me, didn't I? I come over here and I get my portable tank full of life essence. And I need an empty bucket, and I need a crescent hammer. And I need my sand. So, we're going to grab that, and then we're going to take the rest of the tank with me as well. Ow. Put the tank on top of the assembler. And we're going to set the assembler to... oh, you know what? I need this. That's how I do it. So, hit O to turn off NEI, put in our bucket of life and our sand. But it's shaped crafting, isn't it? So it needs to go... How do you need to go? That's how you need to go. So we set it up like that. We hit OK, and that is now a redstone from sand recipe. And I put in my sand, I give it the redstone it needs, and it turns a whole bunch of it into redstone just that fast. It did all of those crafts, 2 full stacks worth of redstone from 1 full reinforced portable tank, and it only used 1 RF per craft. So the people that are talking about how, oh, the cyclic assemblers use power, yes, technically, but that's a very, very technically kind of technically. They do use power. It is non-zero. It may as well be 0. Alright. Next step along the way, I'm going to have to start using lots of gold. Luckily, I have a relatively large gold farm in here that'll keep me going on gold for the foreseeable future. Yeah, I'm not too worried about turning my gold and my redstone into glowstone at this time. In fact, I'm just going to make myself a full stack of glowstone right now. And yes, that is very much not the most efficient way. Later on, you can distill glowstone using witchery. So, where were we? We were making a simple catalyst. And the simple catalyst doesn't require anything else fancy. We will make a few of those with the remaining sugar that we have on hand. Get those started. And once these have finished processing, I believe I needed 2 redstone per. Yeah, there we go. Once these have finished processing, I'll have my 8 simple catalysts. I shall return. See you soon. Alrighty, folks, here are my 8 simple catalysts. Fantastic. That's going to get me moving along. We're going to create our Crystallos from one of these. And the other one is going to be used to create Sanctus, which is made with gold nugget, more glowstone, and glass. So, boom, boom, boom. There's our Crystallos. Here's our Sanctus. And the final ingredient that I'm going to need is that binding agent. And the weak binding agent is made with 2 simple catalysts and a bit of clay. I believe I still have some clay somewhere, don't I? Or am I thinking of a completely different pack? I have trouble keeping track of what inventory I have in what world. Alright, so I don't appear to have any clay at this time. That's okay. It's easy to make more. I could transmute the hardened clay that I have back into regular clay, or I can just use gravel and water. That's right. It's gravel and water in this pack. I should set up another cyclic assembler and teach it how to make that. In the meantime, though, I have plenty of gravel, and I have plenty of water. So, we'll make a few. Alright. 2 simple catalysts, 1 clay. Creates the weak binding agent. And the weak binding agent plus Crystallos plus Sanctus creates the standard binding agent, which, while it is standard, is also the best binding agent currently available. So, we combine the standard binding agent with our potion flask and our feather and our diamond. And I believe on the first one it will consume one of the ingredients and become a potion with that effect. It consumed the feather, becoming a flight potion. I'm going to make myself another one of those binding agents. I'll be back when it's ready. Alright, here we go. We have our standard binding agent, our flight potion, and our diamond. Now this is going to have one of 2 effects. It is either going to create me a really cool flask, or it's going to explode. Sweet, it made the really cool flask. I now have a potion of flight and resistance, and that's going to be what's going to keep me alive in the Nether. Next step along the way is going to be setting myself up for collecting that Ghast Tear and those blaze shards with the minimum effort possible. Now, it's going to have to wait until next time, because we are almost out of time here, but let me show you what the ingredients for this are going to be. I have, on hand, an effectively infinite amount of bone meal, in the form of a skeleton farm, and, well, if I wanted to, even a pulverizer to turn these into 5 bone meal apiece. I also have on hand a plant that, when fully grown, like that one, gives multiple seeds, and whose seeds can be turned into lapis. That's right, we're going to do some Tinker's Construct, and we're going to use that lapis to get myself a full looting sword. But I'm not going to trouble you with that on screen, well, at least not with the grindy bits on screen, because you've seen it all. So in between this episode and next, I'm going to do a bunch of alchemy to get myself a smeltery going, which I'm going to throw onto this platform probably, so that I can make myself, oh, I don't know, Alamite sword? We'll see what I decide on. But until then, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you've enjoyed this episode. See you next time.